'Tis well Krile could make her way here quickly.
She's another one of your colleagues, I take it.
Greetings. I am Krile, of the students of Baldesion. Do I have the pleasure of addressing Derike, the explorer who sought aid in investigating this place?
I am Derek. And this here is a baby Apopo.
Yes, I can see that. Doesn't it have a name?
None that I know of. Nor would I presume to bestow one, for that would be condescending.
I see. That's very considerate of you. So, I understand you explored the various phantom realms with Derike. Will you recount to me the experience?
So while the gods tested you sorely, you did not sense any malicious intent. As Birgit said, they wish to do battle with us. But 'twould seem they do not necessarily wish to cause us harm. Though much and more about this perplexes, mayhap 'tis safe to assume that they are not primals. As you may recall, Livingway once told us that the art of summoning as taught by the Asians incorporates the fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Thus do the resultant primals seek to enthrall worshippers, who in turn seek to grow their ranks. But these beings appear to harbor no such desire. If they are primals, then they are unlike those that have been summoned in recent memory. We might suppose that they were created in antiquity in like manner to Hydaelyn, but there is no way to prove it.
Who could they possibly be? And why do they desire battle with man?
Even of your little Eorzea, you know precious little. The true identities of the 12, for instance.
Emmett Selch did say that, didn't he? By which we may assume he knew the truth, and challenged you to seek it out too. Suffice it to say you'll do so, of course.
Insofar as we can ascertain, this is a matter which has implications for the entire star. In light of this, the students of Baldesion formally accept the commission. We will investigate the Phantom Realm and the beings who call themselves the 12.
I'm pleased to hear that. Thank you.
Without further ado, then, I will take a look around. There are a few things I'm curious about.
Then with your permission, I will take myself around Eorzea and investigate the worship of those gods we encountered. Kanekotin, Derek. Seeing as you've already seen this place, would you care to accompany me?
By all means. In which case? Could you stay here with Krile, my friend? It wouldn't do to leave a fair maiden alone.
Okay.
I shall be glad for the company. Take care, then, and good luck.
Shall we ask Grahatia about his plan?
Raha has also shared his observations with me. Keeping your combined accounts in mind, I shall see what else I can learn here.
Okay. So, to explain my plan. 'Tis believed that the 12 were already worshipped during the Third Astral Era, when the Allagan Empire flourished. Come the Fifth Astral Era, those nations that fought in the War of the Magi each took one of the 12 as a guardian deity. This practice has continued to the present day in Eorzea, with some notable regional differences. For instance, Ishgardians hold Halon as absolute, while Sharlaeans enjoy a moderate relationship with Thaliak. By visiting various locations in Eorzea and learning about the 12 as they are worshipped, I hope to identify any similarities or differences between them and the beings we encountered. In so doing, I believe we will draw closer to the truth of their identities. For our first destination, I propose we take ourselves to Ralgr's Reach. The place is holy ground for worshippers of the Destroyer, and promises to yield useful details. There you are, Kaneko team. This place served as the base of operations for your investigation into Omega, did it not? How delightful to be here together.
If you don't mind my making an observation, it seems you enjoy traveling with company.
I do. It's something I had dreamed of for a long time.
Is that so?
What of yourself? Do you normally travel alone?
In my wanderings, I much prefer to have solitude. Not that I avoid people or communities, mind you. As a matter of fact, I have been here before, on the trail of the Phantom Realm. Now that I think on it. More often than not, those places where Phantom Realm sightings are known to occur have a tradition of 12 worship.
Then I dare to hope that we are on the right track. As I'm sure you know, Ralgr's Reach is home to the Temple of the Fist, the ancient headquarters of the Fist of Ralgr. Raised by the Mad King Theodoric, the temple lay abandoned before the Alamagan resistance claimed it for its operations. While I doubt that much literature has survived over the years, the people here may possess some knowledge of the local faith. So let us split up and make inquiries, and reconvene here afterwards to share findings.
You read the words inscribed on the monument.
A storm of blood approaches fast, hell's open, heavens weep. For no one soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach.
Once upon a time, Lise explained to you their meaning, that we must prepare ourselves for the strife and sorrow that will inevitably come.
I have no doubt that Ehrenwald owes his newfound positive outlook to you and his comrades. You lot have never given up, and he now realizes that neither should he. When we spoke the other day, he seemed determined to understand others and forge genuine connections with them, so determined, in fact, that he might even give Alphino a run for his gill.
I hear that in his efforts to unite the people of Alamigo, Ehrenwald has even made inroads with the Kalianer and others who sided with the Empire. And by all accounts, he's met with some success. Perhaps it's because of his unguarded manner and straightforward way of speaking that people are so willing to listen to him. Just between you and me, I think he'd make a good leader one day.
Learned anything thus far?
Oh, if it isn't Kaneko time. Is this man perchance a friend of yours? When last he visited, he shared with me the tales he heard on his journeys. And what amazing tales they were. If you have time, I'd love to hear both of your stories.
Alas, we are in some haste. We are investigating the worship of Ralph, and seek literature on the subject, religious texts and the like. Can any still be found here?
Just about all of it is gone, sadly, destroyed by the Empire if not the Mad King before that. But we haven't lost everything. The mighty image of the Destroyer. The tales we share at the campfire, like the legend of our nation's founding. We still have these things, and they were a source of great comfort and strength to us in our darkest moments.
I see. If you don't mind, I would be obliged to hear your stories this time. Kaneko team, rest assured I have this well in hand. Feel free to carry on as you were.
Yes. If you have business, please make it quick. I'm due to meet with someone any moment now. Forgive me my delay.
Why, if it isn't the adventurer who kindly escorted me to the Temple of the Fist? Are you studying monks too, perchance? If so, you ought to work together with me and my colleague here. Few things are finer than joining heads with like-minded folk. Researching the worship of the destroyer, you say. Why didn't you mention it sooner? This is a copy of Destructivity, a scripture of the Fist of Ralgr. The original is one of the few texts that survived the temple's razing, and was recovered by a monk named Widargelt. I went to the trouble of having this made for my colleague, only for her to say she doesn't need it. So I will offer it to you instead.
Lest you forget, this is your passion, not mine. I'm simply assisting you as a favor, and I thank you not to put us in danger.
Ah, but danger is the crucible in which the monk tempers body and mind. So sublime, monks. Well, we had best return to our work. Till next time, adventurer.
Kanekotine, what were you able to learn? A copy of one of the scriptures, you say? A moment while I skim over it. I see. This chapter appears to be a record of the construction of the great image of Ralgr, written in a style that suggests folklore was committed to parchment. When the deluge of the sixth umbral calamity threatened Eorzea, the ancestors of the Alomigans were guided to safety by a comet. Believing that it was sent by Ralgr, they came to hold him in the highest. This much of the tale, I had been familiar with. But according to the scripture, among those refugees who followed the comet, some claimed to have caught sight of Ralgr himself. Their accounts were passed down through the centuries, and worshippers of the destroyer pieced them together to give shape to yonder statue. I must say, it bears more than a passing resemblance to the being we encountered. Were that Ralgr primal, the explanation for the similarities would be simple. That is, the statue gives rise to a unified interpretation of Ralgr's appearance, which in turn lends form to the primal. However, this fails to account for what inspired the likeness in the first place. If the scripture is to be believed, it was the sightings during the sixth umbral calamity. Yet for those witnesses to be able to recognize Ralgr, they would have needed an agreed-upon idea of his appearance beforehand. If we then consider the history of 12 worship, that it already existed in the third astral era, it would not be ridiculous to think that these divinities existed even prior to that.
So the question is, Did these beings give rise to their respective fates, or are they primals born of them?
I thought we had made it clear. We are not summoned beings.
Since time immemorial, our domains have lain scattered across Eorzea. As a matter of fact, one of those in which you set foot is nearby. 'Tis not unusual for mortals to glimpse us.
That voice. Could they be?
Indeed. I am Baigat, and the hawk beside me is Ralg. I shall elaborate upon my master's explanation. We thus disguise ourselves when we wish to observe the world without, for being seen in our true forms would violate our laws of conduct. Yet though we similarly disguise our sanctums, veiling them in illusion, rents are known to manifest when the surrounding ether is unstable.
In such a time, should a gifted mortal chance to be near, they may inadvertently catch sight of us.
Of course. During an umbral calamity, etheric imbalance occurs on a star-wide scale, the ideal condition for seeing the phantom realm.
Precisely how many times we have been seen, we ourselves have no way of knowing, but that is a sound assumption to make. Well, Baigat, I believe that much shall suffice by way of an apology for our deception. Shall we?
Indeed, that is all we are at liberty to reveal. Fare you well, children of man.
Aside from their reticence where it concerns their identity and objective, these divinities are certainly approachable. If what they said was true, and their worship can be traced back to their sightings, it would serve to explain one thing. According to my research, in the field of comparative mythology, Ralgr is often observed to bear many similarities with Rama. Assuming both were inspired by the Ralgr of the Phantom Realm, their divergence may be attributable to differences in culture between man and Sylph.
So you believe that they gave rise to the prevailing fates of Eorzea?
Given available evidence, yes, I am inclined to. Yet none of this explains their presence. How and when did beings of such power come into existence? Oh, 'tis you, Krile. Has something happened? Truly. Very well, I shall take care of it. Krile has recruited an acquaintance to aid in our investigation, an authority on mythology. I must go and receive her at the sunken temple of Karn, where she is currently conducting field work, after a brief detour to prepare a little something. Conveniently, Ben Allen is home to countless adherents of Nald Thal. While I tend to business, may I ask the two of you to make inquiries in Ul'dah?
Very well.
Excellent. I will join you as soon as I'm able. By your leave.
So, it's to be just you and me in Ulda. I suppose it can't be helped.